We're checking out the new HTC One for 2014. This is the M8 and the Galaxy S5 that is new in 2014 as well. Hey everyone, I'm Josh Smith with GottaBeMobile.com, and today we're going to compare these two smartphones to help you pick which one you should buy. Now, as we look at the back, we see a clear difference. We have a metal design over here. This phone is actually 20% more metal than the original HTC One. There's still tiny bits of plastic where you see those darker lines there to let the antennas work, but this phone has a nice curved back, fits in your hand very well, and is very, very nicely crafted. Now, this phone has something that you don't get on the Galaxy S5, HTC Advantage. One of those promises is fast Android updates, but it also includes a free screen replacement for a broken screen in the first 6 months. It doesn't cover damage to the rest of the phone, but if you drop it and break your screen, they'll replace it free of charge, and you can check out the description for a link on how that compares to other warranties such as AppleCare. The Galaxy S5 has a soft touch plastic, and we have a speaker on the back. The speakers are on the front of the HTC One. HTC calls these boom sound speakers. They sound great. They're definitely loud enough, and they also deliver good, crisp, clear sounding audio, which is very important. They blow the Galaxy S5 speaker out of the water, and it faces you, so you just can't argue with that. Now, with this soft touch plastic back, we do gain one thing. We're able to take the back off, and here's where we see a small ring of gray, and that's actually a seal, and that combined with a plug cover keeps this phone water resistant, so you can drop it in up to 3 feet of water for about 30 minutes and it'll survive. Now, we've seen some videos where people have done similar things with the HTC One M8 and it survived, but it's not advertised to survive, so you're kind of doing that at your own risk, whereas you can, if you want, take this in the shower or drop it in some water, and you're not going to have to worry about the water. We can remove the battery, which is very nice. Now, we can add a micro SD card here, and we can also add a micro SD card on the side of the HTC One M8. So they're pretty matched in expanding the memory, which is nice. Now, there is a 32 gigabyte internal storage on the HTC One M8 versus 16 on the Galaxy S5 at the same $199 price point, and we're seeing some deals. There's some buy one get one deals at Verizon, and we're seeing deals already on Amazon and places like that. If you head over to Gotta Be Mobile, you can find some links to different deals to get the best price on both of these. Now, if you look at the cameras, you'll see we have two cameras over here versus one camera. This is a 16 megapixel shooter, and over here we have a 4 megapixel ultra pixel camera is what HTC calls this. This is the same camera as on the HTC One from 2013, and it uses larger pixels to, in theory, take better looking photos. Again, if you check the description, you'll see some sample photos, a link to some sample photos that show what you get from both of these. The Galaxy S5 delivers better looking photos for most users, in our opinion. You can see why if you go there. There is a duo camera, so there's a second camera up here, and that allows the camera to take a photo at different focuses. So you can then go in and blur part of your photo for a more strategic or a more artistic look, and that works really well. Samsung has a similar feature that's software based, doesn't work quite as well, so that's a nice feature. We do like HTC Zoe, and we'll have a highlight linked in the description that you can see if you want to see what that is, but it basically combines all your photos that you take in one event and makes a quick, short, set to music and transitioned video that you can share, and it's way better than sharing 10 photos. And if you use HTC Zoe mode, you can capture photo and video at the same time. You don't have to choose which you want to take or tap a second button like you do on the Galaxy S5 to take that. Now, when it comes to displays, we have a 5.1 inch 1080p display and a 5 inch 1080p display. So both of these displays are large, both of them have high resolution, and both of them look really nice. We have a very similar bright color. Both of these screens get really bright and look really nice, but once again, just like in our iPhone 5S comparison, the Galaxy S5 display is a little bit brighter and a little bit more friendly on battery life. Both of these devices do good on battery life, throughout the day. Even with full brightness, we're able to last a full day of pretty heavy use. But the Galaxy S5 just has a few extra features like a ultra power saving mode that will basically turn the screen black and white and limit some other uses. And what you get with that is you can stretch your last 5% of battery life almost 24 hours. So if you end up having no battery life left at the end of the day, you can quickly toggle that on and make sure you get home and can still make calls and send messages and stuff like that. Now, both of these phones run Android 4.4.2, and they'll likely see updates for the next 1.5 or 2 years. So you won't be kind of locking yourself into some type of older option there. Now, there is a HTC One M8 Google Play Edition that runs stock Android. There is not a Galaxy S5 Google Play Edition at this time. Other features that both of these phones offer include an IR port. So on the top of each of these devices, there is an IR port, so you can control your HD TV using built-in software that allows you to kind of do more, manage your TV. Now, while they run Android, we have different overlays. We have Sense 6 and we have a new version of TouchWiz. We have Blink Feed versus My Magazine, which is basically Flipboard. Both of these pull in things that you can customize so you can quickly swipe over to get to your favorite topics. Other things that we have are access to Google, but I can say, "Okay, Google," and the Galaxy S5 will respond without me touching anything. I cannot do that on the HTC One M8. Another feature over here is the ability to run 2 apps on screen at the same time. There is nothing like that on the HTC One right now. One thing the HTC One does have that the other phone doesn't is motion gesture. So if you add a little bit of motion and a tap, you can turn the display on. And that's really nice because with phones that are bigger like this, if you're trying to grab it and hit a power button, you can run into some issues. And there's also a few other things you can do with that. If you add motion and a swipe in, you can access different areas. So that's a real nice touch there. Now, another feature that the Galaxy S5 has is it comes with the ability to connect to a Gear Fit. And this is a snazzy smartwatch / fitness tracker. There are a few bugs, so don't make this your deciding factor between these two smartphones. But that's our fast look at the Galaxy S5 and the HTC One. Now, if you check out, there are a bunch of links in the descriptions to various comparisons, and if you go over to GottaBeMobile.com, you'll see our more detailed look with photos and explanations about why we like certain things a little bit better. Thanks for watching, hit like, and make sure you check out those links.